Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. I'm Miss Nene and welcome. So today I'm going to make a set of 4 coasters. I'm going to be using these ceramic tile that I picked up from the hardware store, or actually Floor and Decor. You can pick these up from Home Depot, Lowe's, any type of home improvement store. And although I've used material before to make coasters, I've never used any with this type. I never made any with this type of material. This is a really satiny, silky material. I'm going to use Mod Podge to protect the fiber from the resin because the resin will seep through if you don't put a barrier between the two. Now, I did have some issues with this material and I'll show you when we get to that. But what I'm going to do right now is just go ahead and size it up and get the pattern off of this. You can use any type of material. Like I said, this is my first time using something as delicate as satin. And although it's a little harder to work with than regular material, you know, like cotton or something like that, but this is much more delicate and slippery and silky. So it made it a little bit difficult, but it still turned out in the end, well, 3 out of 4, and I'll show you what happened there. So what I'm going to do right now is just go ahead and find a pattern that I want, and I'm going to just go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so this step, I'm just adding the Mod Podge onto the tile. And the issues that I had with this, because the material is so delicate, is that when I was adding the glue, which I usually use when I use fabric, because I use fabric many times in these projects, for some reason, the material just sucked up the glue and it didn't really stick to the tile, so I had to pull it up and then add a more generous amount of glue onto the tile to get the fabric to stick. And the good thing about the Mod Podge that it does dry clear, so there was no issues with that. And then you have to keep pressing down to get those bubbles out. So it's a process. So right here, I'm just smoothing it out, trying to push out those annoying little air bubbles. And then after that, I'm just going to go ahead and put another coat on top. Now, because this material is so delicate, I had to put my gloves on because my fingers were sticking to the surface and I didn't want to leave any fingerprints. So just tossing on my gloves. And usually I put 1 to 2 coats on. This particular one, I had to put one in. I did put a second coat on off camera, and it was a generous amount the second time around. So you have to make sure you put at least, for this material, I would say maybe three coats of the Mod Podge. So as I was putting the glue on top, I noticed that the bubbles was popping up. So this is something that I've never had to do when I'm working with fabric and making coasters, is go across it with my fingers after I put my top coat on. So that's what I'm doing right now. Even though there's glue on top, just run my finger across it to get those bubbles out, because the bubbles, the air bubbles, it just kept coming and I don't understand why they kept popping up. But so what I'm doing is just lightly but firmly pressing those bubbles out from underneath the material. And I did notice that because this material is so delicate, it slides. So you have to be careful with that. Okay, so it's been about 4 hours. I went on ahead off camera and I did glue down the sides of 3 of them. So I'm going to show you what I did with the 4th one. It dried nice and clear. It has a nice little gloss on it. I don't know if you can see it, but it has a nice little gloss on it from the Mod Podge. So I'm going to go ahead and do this 4th one. I'm going to go ahead and cut the edges, show you what I did, and I'm going to glue down the sides because I want these coasters to have the material also on the sides. Normally, I don't do that. Sometimes I do. I'll just paint the sides, but the material is so pretty, I wanted to have it on the side as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim these edges. That makes it easier to fold the sides down without having any issues with them bulking on the corners. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm just going to go ahead and put this will be the 3rd coat of Mod Podge on the surface and around each corner on the side of each coaster. And then I'm going to let it dry for a couple more hours. And then the next step is just trimming off the excess and then adding resin. Okay, so it's been about 3 hours. I went on ahead off camera and trimmed off the excess just to save time. And out of the four, three of them turned out perfectly. They dried without any issues. But then one, as you can see right there, developed bubbles. And that is so annoying. I've been, this one just didn't want to work. This one didn't want to act right. But I'm going to add glitter to my resin and hopefully it'll hide that. But if not, which it didn't, it didn't help. But I'll still show you. I'm still going to go through the process of it. And yeah, that's really annoying. You know, sometimes that happens, but this material is really funny to work with anyway, but I definitely would do it again because I have more material like this that I'm going to go ahead and use. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm going to put these adhesive cork backings on, but I like the back to be finished. So what I'm going to do, rather than leave it like this, is just paint around just the edges that will stick out from around the cork. So I'm just going to use some red paint and I'm going to go ahead and paint those now. Okay, now we are almost done here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my glitter to my resin. I already mixed it up off camera. And I'm going to just go ahead and apply it. When I make coasters like these, I like to use my fingers to spread the resin across the surface and on the side and a little bit underneath. It makes it easier for me to know that I have covered the coaster completely. You know, I like using this technique because I can feel it and I can see it. So it makes it easier and it's faster too. And it's less waste of resin because I hate it. I hate wasting resin, especially when it's this expensive. And as you can see, those bubbles are so visible. I'll tell you that this one here really annoys me that happened. But hell, I got 3 good coasters out of 4. But I am sad though. That one I'm probably just going to keep for myself, and the other 3 I'll probably just go ahead and sell those as a set of 3. Okay, so it's been a little more than 24 hours. They are cured, but they can still cure for another couple days. I would let them sit for another 2 days to make sure they are completely cured. But they turned out so beautiful. Look at that shine. You can see a hint of the glitter. I don't know if the camera is picking up on it or not. but it's there. It's so pretty. I love how they turned out. This material really is hard to work with, but it's so beautiful. It's my first time, like I said, using this type of material, the satin material. This one still looks really crappy right there. You can still feel it. The resin covered it. It coated it, but it didn't hide the lumps. As I didn't think it would do that anyway, but it sucks that that one turned out the way that it did. But I still have 3 perfectly good ones, and I'm happy that it turned out good, and all 4 of them didn't turn out like that. So like I was saying earlier, this is why I like to paint the back, because I like to put these on the back of it, these adhesive cork backings, and I will leave a link to those. I got those from Amazon a couple years ago. I don't remember how much I paid for them, but they come in a pack of 100, and I will link that on the back. You can pick that up from my Amazon store. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the back on and finish these babies up. And here we are. We are done. From this beautiful nightgown that I had, this beautiful material turned into some beautiful coasters. So you can refurbish material that you love so much that you don't want to just throw away because it's too small, too big, or it got damaged, but you still got some really nice patterns on here. Turn them into coasters. Turn them into coasters. It's a keepsake. So let me know what you think about how these turn out in the description below, if you're going to give these a try or not. And be sure to check out my channel, like and subscribe, and hit that notification button because I have more videos coming up really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.